Alright, guys, so moving on to our next story, we're talking about the Detective Pikachu trailer that dropped. I am so excited, and not ironically so. I'm just really happy about this movie, and I cannot wait to see it. And the reason why is because I think it might be Ryan Reynolds in the role, but there's something about it. I think it's just the melding of weirdness in a
Yeah.
way that I think is the only way that a movie, not the only, but one of the only ways a movie like this could work, really made me happy about it. Because some people were saying, oh, it seems a bit too dark in terms of like the city landscapes and it looks a bit too dreary and futuristic for Pokemon. And I do understand where they're coming from, but I think that when that's only in the trailer. We're going to see a lot more of the wide open spaces as they move away, like they showed later on during the trailer. But another thing as well that I also, we should note is this is based off of Detective Pikachu. This is not based off of any of the other Pokemon games. If they said this was based off of Red, then yeah, I think it looked like it was a bit edgy
Right.
and it was a bit much. But because it's based off of Detective Pikachu, I haven't played the game, but I know that it's an urban environment. I don't know if they go outside of the big city. It looks like that one is more Detective PI Pikachu instead of a teaming up kind of a... Like, it seems like that Pikachu is a bit more of a gumshoe, where this one seems like he's actually, like, young in his career, and he's actually... Because, he's played by Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
So, because the one in Detective Pikachu, the video game,
Yeah.
it seems like he'd been doing it for a while. It was like he stepped into my office at noon. He said, "Squirtle, Squirtle, Squirtle, Squirtle." I replied, "Pika, Pika, Pika." Like that's how he seemed, just from some of the trailers I saw for that game.
Right.
But I don't know, man. I don't know how you feel about this. I'm super hyped for this. I forgot about it. I'm not saying I knew when the trailer was going to drop, or I thought about the trailer, or even about the movie. I had forgotten. You were telling me before we started. You forgot this was even going to be a thing.
Yeah, I forgot there
Yeah.
was going to be a movie because I played the demo for the game.
How is it?
See, for me, it's weird because it feels
Mm.
like a watered down, like Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, or the
Okay.
Miles Edgeworth games.
But if you like those games,
Yeah, no, it's like
then
that kind of style. So if you like those, then
mm,
but like I only got to play like the demo was just the intro to the game, so it
yeah,
kind of felt like it's Pokemon, so it's kind of like holding your hand the entire time.
right, of
So
course. So
maybe
yeah,
maybe
so
for a younger audience this would be a better game, or if like the later levels become more difficult, then maybe
mhm.
yes,
Or if you've
I would
never
go for it.
played, or if you're just new to gaming in general, that's good for
Yeah,
you, of course. Also new to the 3DS. If that's like your first 3DS game, I'm sure that would also help
yeah,
having your handheld. But still, but the reason why I was asking like how not only like because I don't think it really storyline wise these two are 1-to-1 in terms of I don't think it's a direct adaptation from Detective
no.
Pikachu.
Um,
Okay,
it's
but
still like the your two main characters are Detective Pikachu and the kid. The kid's looking for his father. Although I
oh, that is all
think,
there.
yeah, like I think they're changing up the kid's backstory a bit with
Mm-hmm.
wanting to be a trainer and then trying to find his father and stuff like that. But
Right, right, right. In that way. Okay, so, but how did you feel about this trailer though? Because you were telling me you didn't even remember that it was coming. So when
yeah,
you did see it, when you saw it trending, and
yeah.
then you
Well, that was the
watched
funny
it,
thing. Like
yeah,
I've been sick for a bit. I'm doing better now, but like
good.
so I hadn't actually been online in like 2 days, so I come on, and this is one of the things that I see immediately, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
"Why? Where did this come from? Why is everybody losing their mind?" And then I
Yeah, yeah.
remembered, and I watched the trailer. I'm like, "Oh, well, that would explain that." Um,
So are you hyped for this? Are you excited? Like,
I I don't know how to feel about this.
I'm thinking that this might actually be one of, not the, because I'd have to watch a bunch of movies to say the, but I think it might be one of the best video game adaptation movies. Just from the
Yeah,
trailer alone, I'll say. Now, of course, we still have to see it, and I would love to do a review on it one day to be proven either right or wrong, but I do think that just looking at the trailer alone, this looks like it's shaping up to be good. Because,
Yeah.
like I was saying earlier, it's kind of turning itself into the weird. Like, it's turning into that. Like, if it's
Yeah.
driving, it's turning into it.
And it's embracing
rather
it.
than... It's embracing it, thank you. Rather than trying to be like, no, we're going to be super serious.
Right.
And it's not weird. Everything's fine. What are you talking about? It's not weird. Like, I love that they're making it, they're blending in this comedy. They have that whole... Like, because, I do believe in the game, too, they make it a note, like, wait a minute, you're a Pokemon that can talk. That's odd. Like, I'm pretty sure they do say that even in the game. But, still, I do like that they're... I don't know, it seems like they're really making it work. Maybe it was also the music, the way the trailer was cut as well, but it does just seem like they're trying to make this a buddy cop movie, but for Pokemon.
Yeah.
And I think that, at least with Pokemon's first step into live action, that would be better than the story of Ash Ketchum.
Right, yeah.
Unless they made it like a brand new story about Ash, like the Pokemon movies, the animated movies. That would be different. That would be interesting, right? But if you're just trying to say, let's just make it just like the story of Ash Ketchum, and that's it, I feel like it would be a watered-down version of Pokemon.
Right, yeah.
Or even if it was the story of Red and Blue, but you give them different names. Still, I'd feel like a watered-down version of Pokemon. You can't include that many gym battles in 1 2-hour movie. And I don't know if I'm interested in seeing multiple Pokemon live-action movies across the Kanto region. With, like, 4 movies. And then having, like... Because Pokemon battles, I wouldn't want them to be so super quick, one and done.
Right.
But with this movie, because it's focusing more on the PI work, more on finding his dad and stuff like that, if that Pikachu-Charizard fight only lasts, like, a minute, I'm not going to be mad because this isn't a movie about Pokemon battles.
Right.
If this was a movie about the kid when he was... By the way, the Sinnoh drop that they did.
Yeah, that was
interesting. Because that also shows that it's years in the future from their timeline with the Sinnoh region. Which also would make sense as to why everything is so futuristic, because things in Sinnoh were also pretty high-tech, from what I remember.
Depending on what city you were in, yeah.
No, but like I would argue they, at least maybe because I was playing it on we're playing it on a DS, it looked more high-tech than even when I would play certain games on the Game Boy Advance or Game Boy Color. Granted, again, graphical stuff, sure.
Yeah.
But there were a lot more stuff in 3D, which made it look like it was much more technologically advanced than other regions. Again, I know 3D models, things like that. I get it. But still, though, you see where I'm coming from, though. Like, it does seem like it is in that world's future. It was interesting to tie in Sinnoh. I don't know why people have been making jokes online. Maybe it's going to be a Sinnoh remake.
Right. Oh, my God.
I would hope. I'm not saying you can't have a Sinnoh remake, even though it's one of my least favorite gens. My issue, that's not the reason why it's an issue for me. My issue would be, I don't know if I want that to be the next game on the Switch.
Right.
Don't worry, we're having a mainline Pokemon game in 2019. It's a Sinnoh remake! People are going to be like, but we just had the Let's Go remake.
Right,
like,
yeah.
Are we having 2 remakes 2 years in a row? No, but this one's new? So yeah, I don't know about that. But that was an interesting tie-in, though. That was a weird one, I'll say. Because they didn't go immediately to Gen 1. You think that they would for maximum fan appeal. So it is interesting that they went for Sinnoh. Maybe they thought some kids that would be a bit older now played their first Pokemon game in the Sinnoh region. But
yeah, because for some kids that would be their first one.
Well, no, of course, but I'm thinking if you were 5 during Sinnoh, how long ago was Sinnoh? Like, would you be old enough to be... You wouldn't be old enough to be taking your kid to the movie now. You wouldn't have a kid yet, most likely.
No, yeah. Sinnoh would be...
Yeah.
That was, like, one of the first things for the new...
For the DS.
Well, not... Or was it the DS Lite?
No, it was the DS.
The DS, okay, yeah.
Yeah, because the last one, because it was Ruby, Emerald, and Sapphire on the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
And then the DS had the Sinnoh region, yeah.
Right.
So that was in like the mid-2000s?
Yeah, early 2000s, I think.
Not early, but mid. So apparently I'm hyped about this movie, but Tristan Walter isn't. Why do you hate Pokemon, Tristan? Tell us.
Why do you hate Broly, Matt?
No, but seriously though, I think the reason why I'm interested is because just from the trailer, and I know that things are subject to change, which actually sucks because when when I'm usually this hyped about something, I'm probably going to dislike it when it comes to actually seeing the movie because I've hyped it up in my own head too much.
Right.
But here's the thing, guys. I'm talking to you guys and talking to Tristan here. So I feel like this movie is something that I would have wanted to see when I was a kid, but also some of the humor in a way, because I think they are going to sneak in some adult humor, but do it in a way where the kids aren't going to pick up on it, but we will.
Yeah.
And that's the way I look at this movie. I feel as if, thus far from what we've seen, I feel like it's going to be a movie that's just going to be one that's. I'm not saying this is going to be like the best movie ever. I'm not saying this deserves to win Academy Awards, but at the end of the day,
Right.
I don't look at that as a.
A bad thing.
Well, not
Or
only that, but
something to deter you from the film completely.
yes, I was gonna say I don't look
Yeah.
at that as like a measuring stick. Like, well, how many
Right,
Academy
yeah.
Awards did it win? Because if it didn't win any Academy Awards, then I'm not going to watch it. Because guess what? We've talked about this before, Tristan. Suicide Squad won an Academy Award. Am I gonna fucking sit here and be like, well, Suicide Squad has to be better than every single Marvel movie because I mean, it won an Academy Award.
Right, yeah.
Now, so that's the way I look at it. I'm not even gonna say this movie's gonna be like one of the best movies that I've ever that I'll ever see. There will probably be a lot of movies that I've seen that will be better than this movie, and this movie might be better than average.
Yeah,
Right?
so it's probably gonna be fun.
Yes, that's the thing. Entertaining in this
Yeah.
case is what I care about more than, is it going to be, like I mean, obviously I care about plot holes, and if it is a terrible film, of course I'm not going to sit here and be like, but it was Pokemon was in it and Ryan Reynolds is funny. Like, no, I do admit, like, yes, of course the movie has to be good, right?
Yeah.
But I think that this movie is going to be so entertaining and so fun that I hope that alone, one of the things alone, will carry it to the point where it will be, like people will go see it, people will enjoy it, and I do think that it might be one of the better video game adaptation movies because, and that's the thing too, where it's like it's a bit different than something like Super Mario or other things, where while there wasn't much story to work off of, there was still like a certain guideline or thread at the time that was
Right.
kind of thrown out the window. But also,
Yeah.
even looking at this movie thus far, it does feel like Ryan Reynolds. Not that he's gotten creative control, but he's been given some stuff, and he's been allowed maybe to be more, energetic and entertaining.
Yeah.
Where Bob Hoskins is an amazing actor, John Leguizamo is an amazing actor.
Right.
But I don't think they showed their true. Although I do think that Leguizamo got some time to have a little bit more character there, but they didn't really get to show their acting depths, being Mario and Luigi in that
Right.
particular movie. And I just mean that particular movie. I just
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to say too. Is that I think
'Cause-
that this movie, because it doesn't have the tie directly into Red and Yellow and Blue or any other mainline game, it can also
Right.
be a little bit more loosey-goosey in that way as well, where, I'm not going to sit here and be like, there wasn't enough Pokemon fighting. It's not about the Pokemon fighting. It's about Detective Pikachu.
Right. Yeah.
But, yeah, what were you saying?
And like for me, like hearing Ryan Reynolds play Detective Pikachu,
Mm-hmm.
like caught me off guard at first because
Same.
I mean, and I love Ryan Reynolds and he's a great actor and I want to see him in other roles, besides Deadpool, even though he was a fantastic Deadpool. But when I heard him, all I could hear was Deadpool talking as Pikachu.
Yeah, I agree.
And then, but so the weird thing is, I'm just waiting for him to curse, but obviously he's not going to. So then, when that one scene in the trailer, when he's like, "Other people must be able to understand you. Go ahead, try and talk to them," and he turns around and you hear Pikachu, Pika Pika. It's like, "Oh, aren't you adorable? Pika Pika to you too." It's like, "Oh yeah, you're adorable too." See, kid, they can't understand me. That delivery was amazing, and I'm like, okay, I can. This is still going to be funny. Like Ryan
Yes.
Reynolds is still going to be hilarious in this role.
Yeah.
So Yeah.
Even though I do like the gumshoe detective part of it from the video games that I do wish they may
Yeah.
have kept more, we still don't
Right.
know what they're going to do with the entire movie itself. So these could just be some of the funnier bits. Granted, it's him as Detective Pikachu, so he's going to be funny in general. But
Oh
even
yeah.
that one scene with these, like, I push people away and then I feel bad, it's funny, but it's actually something
Right.
that I think the detective believes.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
not like that's a quip on... That's a funny joke for us watching, but I don't think that's actually him being like, oh, haha, I'm making jokes with Mr. Mime. He's like, is that really what you're saying that I do? And
Right.
she's like,
Yeah.
no, he's telling you to shove it. Also, the different types of Pokemon. It wasn't just Gen 1 exclusive. Because we
Right.
saw Greninja,
Hmm.
who's also... I do wonder if he was pushed because he seems to be very popular. He's in Smash.
I mean, Incineroar just got in too, so.
Right. Oh god, that would be great to see Incineroar during the underground fight aspect of the movie. How great would that be to see a fucking
Oh my
flaming luchador Pokemon?
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
Yeah. Um, but still, it's nice that they didn't go just for Gen 1, even though it's majority, but it looks like Greninja, looks like they're going to have to get into a government, like, secret underground lab or something. And
Right.
getting into that organization, it would be smart if they hired or, caught and trained Greninjas. Because they're fucking ninja. They're good security.
Right.
I mean, what, you gonna have a Kangaskhan walking around? Like, they're really good for security. So,
Right.
I do wonder if that's going to be part of it as well. So yeah, I'm not saying that this movie might not be predictable. It might not be something that we can see coming. Maybe that's going to be part of the movie. Like, oh, his dad got caught up in something. His dad works for some... Well, it looks like his dad's also a cop like that other cop is,
Right.
the one that was talking to him. It seemed like he was a cop. The older Asian man? Were they?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked like he was an officer of the law. So if it might just be a thing where it's like cop got too close to something, tried to get taken out in a car accident or something, and then Detective Pikachu and Kid are going to save the day. I'm sure the secret underground, whatever it is, will probably be wherever they're headed to in the mountains. And it might even be Team Rocket related.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Probably.
Actually bring the crime organizations of Pokemon into this.
Probably. So yeah, so it could be any of that stuff. And if it is, even though it's like, well, Matt, you just you telegraphed the whole thing. Yeah, but I don't think that it's a bad thing to be able to see what might be coming next. It's more so of, is it going to be fun? Is it going to be entertaining? Is Ryan Reynolds going to make me laugh or cringe? Are we going to get more backstory on the kid? Do we know her, whoever she is? Do we know more about her and her Psyduck? Will her Psyduck give me nightmares? That thing was hilariously creepy. No, because it looks like it's... because its eyes remind me of Psyduck in the anime. Like, it's consistently having an anxiety attack.
Yeah.
Those are anxiety...
Mr. Mime really creeped me out.
Mr. Mime...
Jesus.
Yeah, no, Mr. Mime was funny. People have been saying online they did my boy dirty because they love Mime in the anime, who works with Ash's mom, who's like, Mime. So, like, in this case, he just told Pikachu to shove it. Like...
Oh, God.
I love that it used the Pokemon move, though. I don't know what it used, because there's a bunch of moves that it could have used.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just being a mime. Like, it clearly used a move, which was nice.
Right. It's probably like Mirror Wall or Barrier or Reflect, something like that.
Why wouldn't they use moves all the time? Even Pikachu said it.
Right.
I'm going to have to use Thundershock. I am going to have to electrocute you. Like, why wouldn't he?
Right.
It's a Pokemon. What, only going to use it in battles? No, it's a Pokemon. They will use it as defense mechanisms.
Yeah.
If need be.
And I love that one of the artists, I don't know the actual name, probably should look, but that worked on if Pokemon were real or realistic versions of them. They actually hired them to work on the production.
Yeah, that was really cool as well. So I have high hopes for this. I'm happy that you at least think it's going to be fun, even though you're still confused, because it is confusing. I'm not saying that it makes sense, but I don't think Pokemon ever would have made sense. So I think it had to do something different to try to stand out. That's just my opinion. It's a bit different than like something like Dragon Ball Z, where aliens are not a foreign concept. They're all humanoid. Even Frieza is Frieza, but still, humanoid. It's not like Frieza walks on all fours or Cell, you know? So, something like Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, I don't think it's hard to have, kung fu, explosions, stuff like that. I mean, we've seen all of that in cinema already, but something like Pokemon, the way that it
Right.
is just so different, especially even trying to make the Pokemon. There's already controversy where some people are like, nope, shit show, don't want to see it because they look horrifying.
Mm.
Where others are like, oh, well, what else were they going to do? Make it completely 2D? You know?
Right. Yeah.
Like, you have to make it look like it can blend in with the surroundings in some way or another. So, so you have to give Pikachu fur, you know?
Right.
And stuff
Yeah.
like that. So, it's going to be interesting, I'll say that much. And I can't wait to see it in theaters. It's coming out in 2019, correct?
Yes.
Did it say when exactly or no?
No. I think it's
Okay.
just 2019 for now.
All right, so we'll see what happens. So I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you like this trailer? Do you like this concept? Do you think that maybe we should have went for a more traditional Pokemon to start things off? Or are you super hyped like I am? So I would love to hear what you guys have to say down below.
But who needs a high-class detective when you've got a cat? Or a Pokemon. Okay.
Can we see her on camera?
Yes, I did.
Good. Good. We need those views, Tristan.